Hello and welcome to the It's Friday Tomorrow show. I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake. In today's show, we're going to be taking a look at Shadow of the Tomb Raider, this week's biggest release.
We also take a look at Planet Alpha, a game that Jake says is like Inside and Limbo and that.
And we're going to be taking a step down memory lane where we have a look at a time that 10-year-old boys used to lock their butlers in the fridge.
What? So there is a new Tomb Raider out this week. Jake, when was the last time you played a Tomb Raider?
A long time ago.
Yeah,
I played it like on a 360. The one I think that was called Tomb Raider. But it was the one that was just, I think, as Xbox went to Xbox and 360, so I think it might have been straddling the two consoles.
So it was the one, there was a reboot trilogy, right? So that started in 2013.
Yeah.
And it may have been that one?
It was the one where, if I remember rightly, there was a free demo on the 360 that was a nice, like, Amazonian jungle. That was good. And then the first level of the game when I bought it was like you had to go underwater, and my crippling fear of being underwater in games meant that I just couldn't do it. And then that was it.
I didn't know that about you. You had a crippling fear of
underwater levels. They creep me out so much.
It's not real.
I know, but I don't know. It's like if you're afraid of spiders and that, logically it's just not right, but it doesn't matter, does it? 'Cause
I guess so.
I don't control my brain, it controls me.
That's a fair point. Yeah, it's not your fault. I shouldn't point that out.
I think that was the last one before they did Uncharted then.
Yeah.
They being other people entirely, but you know what I mean? All of a sudden he was the in-tomb robber.
It is funny how that's happened, how it was Uncharted was kind of like Tomb Raider, and I do feel now that Tomb Raider's kind of like Uncharted. But obviously Tomb Raider is a very old IP, like one of the oldest, most iconic. Like, is Tomb Raider and Lara Croft is one of those images that if like the BBC did a segment on gaming, it'd have a bit of Lara Croft in it. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it was the first game I can remember that had yearly iterations as well. 96, 7, 8, 9. Tomb Raider game every single year, and they were just box office smashes, critical successes all in a row. And now, here we are. This is like Tomb Raider 50.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Shadow of the Tomb Raider arrives on PC, PS4 and Xbox One this week and promises to bring with it copious amounts of third-person action adventuring. It's the 12th mainline entry in the Tomb Raider series, and it's the third game in the franchise's recent reboot trilogy, which started with 2013's Tomb Raider and spawned the 2015 sequel Rise of the Tomb Raider. Anyone familiar with those two games will know roughly what to expect here. The main change this time around, though, is the development team. Eidos Montreal are the ones making this title, taking over the bulk of development for this third game from Crystal Dynamics. The story set 2 months after the events of Rise of the Tomb Raider. Lara Croft is in Mesoamerica and South America trying to do something about a Mayan apocalypse that she may have accidentally unleashed. Gameplay is a wee bit more open this time around compared to the last two outings, with a lot of the pre-release marketing buzz dedicated to the addition of explorable, semi-open hub areas. The central hub of Paititi is in fact the largest hub the series has seen yet. Here you'll find side missions, challenge tombs, and plenty of opportunity to scavenge resources to use in crafting. There's also a new bartering system which allows Lara to trade weapons and salvage. Stealth is a bigger factor than ever this time around too, where Lara will be able to flee combat and take enemies out on a more sneaky basis. That aside, this is a game about running, jumping, shooting and climbing, so if you are into that sort of thing, well, have a nice time.
And what are the critics saying for this game?
It's pretty weird actually, is the disparity between Xbox and PlayStation is about 5 or 6 points on Metacritic. So the Xbox One has got like 83 and then the PlayStation version has got 78. But the weird thing is they're both based on about 40 odd reviews. It's very good, I think, isn't it? Like 80?
Well, Spider-Man was like what, 80?
87, 88.
And people are saying that's amazing, and that's the biggest selling game of the year, so anything like that, 8 is great. That's the easy way to remember.
8 is great.
Is this the one where she becomes a Tomb Raider?
No, because this is the third in a trilogy.
Yeah.
I feel like every single one of them, someone has said
it's the one where
this is the one where she becomes.
This is what I mean. This is why I was asking, because I heard this for every game.
The whole trilogy, though, that's what the whole reboot trilogy has been. It's like the origin story, right? So it's been Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Although I don't know why Rise isn't the one where she becomes a Tomb Raider, because that Rise of the Tomb Raider would imply she is now Tomb Raider. Now she's Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Shadow would be like a shadow of your former self, or like you're living under your own shadow.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises.
That's like a sequel name.
Batman's got a walking stick. That's what Shadow is, isn't it?
That is exactly
Shadow of the Batman.
It's over now. The shadow's been cast because of the Rise. It doesn't make sense. But if this is the last one in the trilogy of prequels, this is the one where she becomes a Tomb Raider. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
What's your best Lara Croft memory? Your best Tomb Raider
My
memory?
favourite one is a kid doing the swan dives in the gym and breaking her neck.
What? Is that?
Yeah, you remember you could like...
Please tell me more.
Well, you could, if you held like R1 where you did the jump, you did the swan dive.
Yeah.
If you did it off a high ledge, you'd break a neck. And then there's also a bit where you were like in the jungle and there was piranhas.
Yeah.
That was pretty good as well. Tomb Raider 3.
There's a lot of animal killing in the first Tomb Raider, wasn't there? Like a lot of...
T-Rex.
I always felt bad about that.
Remember like how you beat the guy on a skateboard?
No.
People seem to forget about that bit.
I haven't got a lot of Tomb Raider memories, I'll be honest.
You've got like you kill some wolves, kill some T-Rex.
I remember the animal killing.
You don't remember killing the guy on a skateboard though, do you? No one does.
It's because I felt something when I killed the animals. I was like, oh,
do you know
this
what's
is mad. I was complicated as a child. That was the...
Yeah, that's the problem with you. Morality. Too much of it.
Exactly.
Well, listen, Liam's going to talk to you about this now, I think, and maybe there'll be a bit on the skateboard man, and if not... Let's find out.
I actually had a very nice segue written for this, but...
Oh, did you
whatever.
really?
No, just go on, do the Liam bit.
With Shadow of the Tomb Raider being released at the end of the week, we thought it would be cool to take a look back at the long-running franchise and how it's evolved over the years. Let's take a look at where it all began. Developed by Core Design and published by Eidos Interactive, Tomb Raider was released in 1996 for PC, PS1 and Sega Saturn. Tomb Raider was unlike any other game on the market, combining platforming, puzzles and action into large open-ended levels with a level of detail which was unprecedented at the time. Upon its release, Tomb Raider was critically acclaimed, with many reviewers scoring it 9 out of 10 and hailing it as a revolutionary game which would redefine the action genre. Tomb Raider was also a commercial success, selling over 7 million copies. After the astonishing success of the first game, Core Design started to work on a sequel straight away. Tomb Raider 2 was released for PC and PS1 in 1997, where it was met with positive reviews but not quite the same as the first game. Reviewers found the gameplay to be largely the same as the original. Nonetheless, Tomb Raider 2 was a huge success, surpassing the original game's sales and quickly becoming part of the PlayStation Greatest Hits range. After the success of Tomb Raider 2, Core Design again set about working on another sequel to be released the following year. Tomb Raider 3 was released for PC and PS1 in 1998, but things were starting to change for the series. Whilst it was a commercial success, selling around 6 million copies, Tomb Raider 3 didn't fare as well as its predecessors when it came to reviews. The game was praised for its improved AI and freedom of exploration, but most critics felt it failed to add anything new to the series, and they started to worry the series had become a bit too formulaic. Core Design went on to release Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation in 1999, but like Tomb Raider 3, The Last Revelation received good but not great reviews. Reviewers believed the series was just going through the motions at this point. Even the team at Core Design was starting to get fed up with the series. Publisher Eidos insisted that the series continue, which led to the development and release of Tomb Raider Chronicles. Speaking about Chronicles in a 2016 retrospective, level designer Andy Sandham said the team made it in order to make a living rather than having any passion for it. After Chronicles, the Tomb Raider series went on a bit of a break, and it wasn't until 2003 there was another full-fledged game in the franchise. Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness was released in 2003 for the PC and PS2. The game ended up being delayed numerous times, and at one point all work was scrapped and the team had to start over again. When it was finally released, Angel of Darkness received mixed to negative reviews from critics. Following the mixed reaction to Angel of Darkness, Eidos handed the Tomb Raider IP over to Crystal Dynamics, who are developers behind the Legacy of Kain series, and they set to work rebooting the franchise. In 2006, Crystal Dynamics released Tomb Raider Legend. The following year saw the release of Tomb Raider Anniversary, a full remake of the first game, again developed by Crystal Dynamics. The next installment in the series would be Tomb Raider Underworld, developed by Crystal Dynamics and released in 2008, but not too long after the release of Underworld, Eidos Interactive revealed they weren't doing too well financially. However, in 2009, Japanese publisher Square Enix announced it had acquired Eidos and all its assets, including the Tomb Raider IP. After the acquisition, Square Enix announced another reboot of the franchise. The 2013 reboot, simply called Tomb Raider, was again developed by Crystal Dynamics and featured a younger Lara Croft, complete with a new origin story, redesigned look, and a more grounded approach to the character. Upon its release in 2013, Tomb Raider was critically acclaimed, with praise going towards the new Lara's characterization, deep gameplay mechanics, and and set pieces. Shortly after development finished on the reboot, Crystal Dynamics started to work on a sequel. The sequel was announced in 2014 as Rise of the Tomb Raider and was released the following year as a timed exclusive for the Xbox One, before making its way to PC and PS4 a year later. So this brings us to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is set to be the 12th mainline game in the franchise and the final game in the reboot trilogy. The game is due to release at the end of this week for PC, PS4 and Xbox One, and if the reviews are anything to go by, it looks like it's going to be a solid game. So there you go folks, a brief history of all the mainline Tomb Raider games since the series began. See you next time.
That was Liam remembering Tomb Raider. Many Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
That happened over the past 20 years.
But Shadow of the Tomb Raider isn't the only new game this week, is it, Jake? Tell me about Planet Alpha. What is it?
Planet Alpha is really nice. It's like Inside and Limbo if it was set on somebody's No Man's Sky planet. That's basically it. It's like, you see how Inside and Limbo's got that grayscale, moody vibes, yeah? It could have been on any emo kid's wall, right? This isn't. This is somebody who's gone, I really like my planet inside No Man's Sky. Let's make a game about it.
Yeah.
It's like this side-scrolling game where you... Well, I don't want to give too much away, really. At least not when I'm rambling on about it.
Well, I think, luckily, you've prepared 2 minutes of nice voiceover. Nicely edited and put together voiceover for us to
very convenient,
to learn some more.
Yeah.
Let's play that instead.
Planet Alpha is a game developed by a small and dedicated Danish team called Planet Alpha Game Studio and published by Team 17. It's out right now on the Nintendo Switch, PC, PS4 and Xbox, and as you'd expect from looking at my footage of it, it's a side-scrolling, story-driven game. The plot unravels through a clever use of environmental storytelling and not much else really. There's no narrator, text or voice acting, just a carefully crafted world with lots of stuff going on in it, and you're platforming for pretty much all of it. There is a unique mechanic in this game, and it's the ability to control a day and night cycle. This isn't any time you want, mind. There are specific spots you're able to do this, and it's mostly used to change the environment around you. Plants can create additional cover, or flowers will bloom to block enemy projectiles. There's normally a certain fluidity to games like these, and they're perfect for a Sunday afternoon. I would deem them stress-free, normally, but not this one. This one's got some challenges, and when it's not pretty obscure mechanical puzzles, it's trial and error, insta-fail stealth sections that happen quite frequently. But just because it's not a breeze, it doesn't mean it's not good, and the challenges raise the stakes. Unlike any other games in the genre, you're constantly being challenged by not only obstacle course platforming puzzles, but living organisms, or, you know, these robots. There's frantic getaways, carefully paced crawling sections, and my favourite, hide and seek with some giant bugs. I'm well into this type of game, and this is no exception. The story is actually pretty bland, so much so that I'm only showing you some early gameplay to avoid spoilers. I'm not sure how much of this is due to the dev team trying to make sure everyone gets it and avoid 100 video essays explaining the ending like Inside, but the game is beautiful, really atmospheric, and if you like to be challenged and you like a couple of puzzles along with your platforming, this is the one. It's immersive, it's beautiful, the soundtrack is amazing, the art direction is very impressive. It seems like someone's obviously been reading a lot of 50s sci-fi books just like Sean Murray and his team, and Planet Alpha is going to be a really nice time if you're a fan of Limbo, Inside, Abe's Odyssey or Far Lone Sails. It's a pretty short game, but for the price you can't complain, and I would highly recommend it. Cheers! So that was my thoughts on Planet Alpha. Thanks very much for watching this week's Friday Tomorrow Show.
Yeah, check back next week for some more gaming news, new releases, and probably another history lesson. Bye!